Tonight, we drift outward, past the last planet, past the edge of the sun's warm wind, into the deep and quiet dark between the stars. There is nothing to fear out here, only distance and stillness and the slow, endless calm of open space. You don't need to stay awake for this. Let your breathing slow. Let the numbers wash over you like a tide. We'll travel far from home together, gently. And it's perfectly all right to fall asleep somewhere along the way. Fact 1. Deep space begins where the sun's reach fades. Far beyond the last of the planets, the sun's light thins to a pale, cold glow, and its warmth all but disappears into the dark. Imagine drifting quietly past the orbit of Neptune, the familiar worlds now far behind you. Nothing ahead but a wide and patient darkness. Picture the sun shrinking slowly to a single bright point. No longer the warm source of our days, only a small, fading spark of warmth in the black. As you rest here, there is no wall to cross, no door, no sudden edge, only the slow, gentle fading of everything that once felt near. There is room enough out here to hold every thought you carry, and let each one soften and drift away. And so we begin, moving gently outward, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 2. The sun is not silent out here. In every direction it breathes out a steady stream of tiny, charged particles, a soft and constant flow called the solar wind. Imagine a warm breeze that never stops, spreading outward from the sun through all the empty space around it, brushing past the planets one by one. Picture this wind flowing on and on, thinning as it goes, carrying a whisper of the sun far past anything we could ever see with our eyes. As you rest, let that gentle outward current carry you too, unhurried, in no rush to arrive anywhere at all. There is something calming in a wind that simply flows and never gusts, never storms, only drifts steadily into the dark. And so we ride it softly further from home, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 3. This solar wind moves faster than any breeze on Earth, yet from so far away it feels utterly calm. It streams outward at about 400 kilometers every second, sometimes slower, sometimes faster, flowing on for years and years. Imagine a river of light and particles pouring endlessly away from the sun, so vast and so smooth that its great speed feels like perfect stillness. Picture yourself carried along within it, moving swiftly and yet feeling nothing but quiet, the way a sleeper drifts through the hours without ever noticing the time. As you rest, there is no need to measure the speed, no need to hold on. The current knows the way. There is only the soft, steady pouring of the sun into the dark. And so we flow onward, gently, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 4. All of this outflowing wind does something remarkable. It puffs up an enormous invisible bubble around the sun, a great rounded region that holds back the darkness beyond. This bubble is called the heliosphere. Imagine a soft, protective shell, larger than anything you could picture, blown gently outward by the sun's endless breath. Picture every planet, every comet, every drifting speck we know, all cradled together inside this quiet bubble, wrapped in the sun's far-reaching influence. As you rest, think of it as a wide and gentle boundary. Not a wall, but a warmth. A place where the sun still holds sway over the dark. There is comfort in knowing we travel, for now, inside something so vast and so calm. And so we drift within the bubble, unhurried, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 5. This great bubble is not a perfect sphere. As the sun sails slowly through the galaxy, the heliosphere is stretched into the shape of a soft teardrop, rounded on one side and drawn out into a long, gentle tail behind. Imagine a candle flame leaning ever so slightly, or a drop of water trailing a thread as it falls. That same easy, flowing shape spread across an unimaginable distance. Picture the sun gliding forward through the dark, its bubble trailing behind it like a long, quiet wake on a still sea. As you rest, there is nothing sharp in this shape, nothing sudden. Only smooth curves and a tail that fades softly into the black. There is a gentle motion to it all, a slow sailing onward. And so we trail behind, drifting easy, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 6. Inside this bubble, the sun still gently rules. Its wind, its light, its soft magnetic touch reach all the way to the bubble's edge, and everything within feels the sun's quiet presence. Beyond that edge begins the true space between the stars. Imagine standing at a doorway, the familiar warmth of home behind you, the wide unknown ahead. Though here there is no door at all, only a slow shading from one realm into the next. Picture the last faint reach of the sun brushing against the cold that fills the rest of the galaxy. As you rest, there is no fear in this threshold, only a soft handing over from one calm to another. There is home behind and open space ahead, and both are quiet. And so we approach the edge, unafraid, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 7. Somewhere far out in this bubble, the sun's wind meets its first great change. After flowing swiftly for so long, it suddenly slows, piling up against the pressure of the space beyond. This place is called the termination shock, and it lies far out, perhaps 75 to 95 times farther from the sun than the Earth. Imagine a fast river reaching a wide, calm lake, its rushing waters spreading and slowing without a splash. Picture that gentle slowing happening in silence, out in the cold and the dark, a soft easing of everything that once raced outward. As you rest, let your own thoughts slow the same way, unwinding, settling, no longer hurrying anywhere. There is a quiet in things that finally slow down, and so we ease our pace, softly, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 8. Beyond that slowing lies a strange and gentle place called the heliosheath. Here the sun's wind, now slowed and thickened, swirls in soft, unhurried eddies before it fades away entirely. Imagine the calm outer reaches of a great tide pool, where the water no longer rushes but turns slowly, folding over itself in lazy, drifting curls. Picture this wide, turbulent zone, vast beyond measure, yet so far out and so thin that its swirling feels like the slowest of dreams. As you rest, there is no violence here, only the gentle churning of something coming to its end, mixing quietly with the space beyond. There is a softness in these last slow motions of the sun's long breath. And so we drift through the sheath, unhurried, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 9. Then, at last, comes the real boundary. It is called the heliopause, lying perhaps 120 times farther from the sun than the Earth. Here, the sun's outward push and the gentle pressure of the stars finally balance, and neither reaches past the other. Imagine the exact quiet place where an outgoing tide meets the still water beyond, the point where the pushing simply stops and all is held in perfect balance. Picture that invisible surface wrapped all around us, marking the true edge of the sun's own realm. As you rest, there is nothing to feel as this line is crossed. Only the soft knowledge that home now lies fully behind. There is peace in a border so calm it makes no sound. And so we slip across it, gently, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 10. Beyond the heliopause, everything changes. And yet nothing feels different at all. Here the sun's wind and warmth no longer reach. To the eye, it is simply one more star among the countless many, though its distant gravity still holds us gently for a long way yet. Imagine turning to look back and seeing our sun as a single bright point of light, warm and familiar, but no larger now than the other stars scattered across the sky. Picture yourself truly among the stars at last. The sun, just one gentle glimmer in a vast and even field of light. As you rest, there is no loss in this, only a soft belonging to something far larger. There is a quiet comfort in becoming part of the wider dark. And so we float among the stars, at ease, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 11. And now, looking back on all we have passed, one thing becomes clear. Every planet we know, every world that circles the sun, orbits within a small and cozy inner zone. All that lies past it, the endless reaches we now drift through, is deep space. Imagine our whole familiar solar system gathered into a single warm and tiny circle, and around it, in every direction, an ocean of dark so wide it has no shore. Picture how much of everything is simply this quiet emptiness, patient and vast, holding the little bright places within it. As you rest, there is no smallness to fear in this, only a sense of how much room there is to breathe. There is space enough here for every worry to unfold and drift away. And so we rest within the vastness, softly, quietly in the deep. Fact 12. Out here we are not entirely alone. Long ago a small craft left the Earth, and it travels still. A spacecraft named Voyager 1 was launched in 1977 on a warm September day, and it has been sailing outward ever since. Imagine a tiny traveler, no larger than a small car, gliding silently through the dark for longer than most of us have been alive, never stopping, never tiring. Picture the patient years it has spent crossing that great emptiness, faithful and quiet, carrying a little piece of home ever further into the night. As you rest, there is something gentle in that steadfastness, a small machine keeping its long, calm promise to journey on. There is companionship, even here, in its distant, silent drift. And so we travel beside it, kindly, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 13. There is a lovely twist to their story. Though it carries the number 1, Voyager 1 was not the first to leave. Its twin, Voyager 2, actually departed weeks earlier, in the August of that same year. Imagine two small travelers setting out on slightly different paths, one leaving first, the other soon after, each bound for its own long journey into the dark. Picture them drifting apart over the decades, never to meet again, yet forever linked as a gentle pair sent out together from the same warm world. As you rest, there is no race between them now. No first or second that matters out here, only two quiet companions of the deep. There is something tender in twins who wander so far and stay somehow together. And so they drift onward, side by distant side, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 14. In the year 2012, something remarkable happened, so quietly that no one felt it at the time. Voyager 1 slipped past the heliopause and became the first thing humans ever made to reach the true space between the stars. Imagine that small craft crossing an invisible line no eye could see, passing from the sun's realm into the wider galaxy, and simply drifting on as it always had. Picture the gentle history of that moment. A tiny messenger from Earth stepping softly out among the stars for the very first time. As you rest, there is a quiet pride in it, a soft wonder that something of ours has traveled so unimaginably far. There is grace in a milestone crossed without a sound, and so it drifts on beyond the edge, faithful, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 15. 6 years later, its twin followed the same quiet path. In the year 2018, Voyager 2 crossed the heliopause as well, and slipped out into interstellar space to join its distant partner in the dark. Imagine the second traveler reaching that same invisible threshold years behind, and passing through just as gently as the first. Picture the two of them now, both beyond the sun's great bubble, drifting along their separate ways through the space between the stars. As you rest, there is a soft symmetry to it. A pair of small machines, each keeping the same long faith, each crossing the same silent border in its own good time. There is comfort in journeys that echo one another so gently. And so they wander on, both beyond the edge, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 16. Even now, across all that distance, the Voyagers still whisper home. Faint signals travel back across billions of kilometers, so soft by the time they arrive that it takes the gentlest of instruments to hear them. Imagine a voice barely above a whisper, carried across an ocean so wide it has no far shore, and still, somehow, reaching a listening ear. Picture those tiny messages drifting inward through the dark, patient and weak, saying quietly that all is well, that the travelers journey on. As you rest, there is tenderness in that faint connection, a thread of contact stretched impossibly thin, yet never quite breaking. There is love in a whisper that crosses the void, just to say it is still there. And so they speak to us softly from far away, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 17. These whispers take a very long time to arrive. A signal from Voyager 1 now travels for more than 23 hours before it reaches us. And that span grows a little longer with every passing day. Imagine sending the gentlest of greetings and waiting almost a full day and night before it even arrives, so vast is the distance in between. Picture the sun's light and radio, the fastest things there are, still needing the better part of a day to cross that lonely stretch of dark. As you rest, there is no impatience out here, no hurry at all, only the slow and certain travel of a message through the deep. There is a calm in distances so great that time itself seems to soften. And so the whispers drift homeward, unhurried, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 18. The Voyagers carry their own small warmth. They run on a slowly fading source of power, a gentle heat from decaying plutonium that dims just a little more each year. Imagine a tiny ember carried through the cold, glowing softly, giving its last quiet warmth to keep a small traveler alive, far from any sun. Picture that light growing fainter by slow degrees, year after patient year, as the craft drifts ever further into the dark. As you rest, there is nothing sad in this slow dimming, only the natural softening of something that has given so much for so long. There is peace in a light that fades gently, having done all it set out to do. And so they drift on, warm a while longer, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 19. Each Voyager carries a gift, in case anyone should ever find it. Tucked aboard is the golden record, a shining disk holding the sounds and images of Earth, sent out as a quiet hello to the dark. Imagine a small golden circle drifting among the stars, holding within it laughter and music and the gentle noises of a distant blue world. Picture it traveling on for ages beyond counting, a little time capsule of home, patient and bright, waiting for no one in particular. As you rest, there is something touching in that gesture, a message of friendship cast softly into the deep, with no promise of an answer. There is hope in a hello, sent out simply for the sake of kindness. And so the golden gift drifts on, gentle, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 20. On that golden disk are gathered the many voices of our world. It holds spoken greetings in dozens of languages, pieces of music from across the earth, and the soft sounds of nature, wind and water, and living things. Imagine a single small record holding a hello in tongue after tongue, a chorus of gentle welcomes drifting together through the stars. Picture birdsong and rainfall and distant songs, all folded into that quiet disk, a whole world's warmth pressed into gold and set adrift. As you rest, let those imagined sounds wash softly over you, greetings and melodies you need not understand to feel. There is comfort in a gift that carries the kindest parts of home. And so the voices drift outward, gentle and unhurried, resting quietly in the deep. Fact 21. The golden record is engraved with a map that points the way back to our sun. Etched onto its cover is a pattern of lines, marking the steady rhythm of distant spinning stars, a quiet set of directions to one small blue world. Imagine some far-off finder ages from now tracing those lines back across the dark toward a star they have never seen. Picture the record drifting on, patient and silent, carrying music and greetings that no one may ever hear. As you rest, there is something gentle in the thought, a message set loose with no hurry, no expectation, only a soft and open hope. There is all the time in the universe for it to travel, and no deadline it can miss. And so it drifts on, our small hello, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 22. Before the Voyagers, two smaller craft went first, Pioneer 10 and Pioneer 11, the earliest probes ever sent on a path out of the solar system. Each one carries a small metal plaque, a simple picture pressed into gold-coated aluminium. Imagine those two pioneers, launched long ago, already far beyond the planets, gliding through the empty distances without a sound. Picture them growing colder and quieter with every passing year, their old signals long since faded to silence. As you rest, think of them as gentle scouts, the first to wander this far, marking a trail no one had walked before. There is a quiet dignity in going first, in slipping out into the dark with nothing but a small engraved greeting. And so they sail onward, silent and unhurried, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 23. The Pioneer plaque shows two human figures standing side by side and a small diagram marking the sun's place among nearby beacons in the sky. It is a message with no words, only shapes, meant to be read by minds we cannot picture. Imagine a distant finder holding that image, puzzling out the soft curve of a human form and the little star we call home. Picture the plaque, still bright against the craft's cold metal, its lines unworn, waiting through the ages without impatience. As you rest, there is comfort in that simple gesture, a note that says only, gently, we were here. There is no urgency in it, no fear, just a quiet wish to be remembered someday. And so the plaque travels on, a still small portrait, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 24. In tens of thousands of years, these old craft will still be gliding on, long after everything we build on Earth has crumbled away. Imagine the ages passing while they coast, empire and language and memory fading behind them, and still they glide on, faithful and unchanged. Picture a far future when the pioneers and voyagers are the oldest things our hands ever made, quiet relics sailing among unknown suns. As you rest, let that vast stretch of time feel soft rather than heavy. A slow river carrying our small machines gently forward. There is something soothing in outlasting the hurry of the world, in a journey measured not in days, but in the turning of stars. And so they endure, patient beyond all our years, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 25. Far past the last planet lies the Oort cloud, a vast and distant shell of icy bodies wrapped loosely around the sun. It is not a place you could ever crowd or fill, only a faint scattering of frozen worlds spread across unimaginable room. Imagine countless dark chunks of ice, each drifting alone, so far from the sun that its light is only a pale spark among the stars. Picture that great shell hanging in the deep quiet, still, cold, and almost perfectly empty. As you rest, let the size of it settle over you softly, not as emptiness to fear, but as space to breathe. There is a calm in such openness, in a realm where nothing hurries and nothing crowds. And so the Oort cloud drifts, silent and immense, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 26. The Oort cloud does not lie in a flat ring like the planets. Instead, it wraps the sun as a great round sphere, surrounding it on every side. The planets keep to a thin, spinning plane, but out here, the icy bodies drift above and below, all around, like a soft cloud enclosing a candle. Imagine standing at its heart and looking outward in any direction, finding that faint scattering of ice reaching away on all sides alike. Picture the whole solar system cradled inside this gentle sphere, held in a shell so wide it barely seems to curve. As you rest, let that image wrap around you too, a soft, round quiet with no edges to bump against. There is comfort in being enclosed so gently. And so the shell surrounds us, whole and calm, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 27. The outer edge of the Oort cloud may reach as far as 100,000 times the distance between the Earth and the Sun. That is a stretch so wide, the mind can only lean toward it, never quite hold it whole. Imagine sunlight setting out from home and traveling that entire way, growing fainter and fainter until it is barely more than starlight. Picture the frozen bodies waiting at that far rim, at the very hem of the sun's long reach. As you rest, there is no need to grasp such a number tightly. Let it drift past, vast and soft, like a tide going out. There is peace in distances too large to worry over, in edges we will never have to cross. And so that far boundary hangs there, faint and still, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 28. That outer edge lies about a light year and a half from the sun, a real fraction of the way to the very next star. The planets seem far apart, yet all of them huddle close together compared with this. Imagine the sun's icy shell reaching out so far that it begins to feel the pull of other suns, brushing the edges of interstellar space. Picture a lonely comet out there, poised between our star and the darkness beyond, belonging fully to neither. As you rest, let that in-between place feel gentle, a soft threshold rather than a hard line. There is something calming in a border with no fence, only a slow fading of one star's hold and the quiet beginning of another's. And so the edge drifts, faint and unhurried, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 29. The Oort cloud is the birthplace of the long-period comets, the ones that fall inward and blaze across our sky only once in many thousands of years. Every so often, a single frozen body begins the slow tumble sunward, waking as it nears the warmth. Imagine one of these travelers setting out from the far shell, drifting inward through the long dark, taking ages just to reach the planets. Picture it finally rounding the sun, growing a soft, glowing tail, then swinging away again for another endless age. As you rest, think of these comets as patient wanderers, keeping slow appointments across spans longer than all of history. There is a gentle rhythm in such rare returns. And so they come and go, unhurried and faithful, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 30. A comet does not fall inward on its own. Often, a gentle tug from a passing star is enough to nudge an icy body loose and send it drifting sunward. Out at the Oort cloud, the sun's grip is so soft that even a distant star sliding slowly by can stir the frozen shell. Imagine one of those far suns easing past over the ages, its faint pull brushing the ice like a breath across still water. Picture a single frozen body, loosened by that touch, beginning its long, slow fall toward the light. As you rest, let the smallness of the nudge soothe you. No crash, no force, only a whisper of gravity across the dark. There is calm in changes that begin so softly. And so the comet drifts inward, gently loosed, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 31. The frozen chunks of the Oort cloud are leftovers from the birth of the solar system, ancient ice untouched since the planets first formed. They are the crumbs of creation, flung far outward long ago and kept in a deep, cold sleep ever since. Imagine that early time, worlds gathering out of dust and gas, and these small icy bodies drifting off to the outer edge, saved and forgotten. Picture them holding their shape across billions of years, perfectly preserved in the endless chill. As you rest, think of them as memories kept in cold storage, quiet keepsakes of how everything began. There is something peaceful in that patience, in matter that simply waits, unchanged, through ages beyond counting. And so the old ice endures, still as ever, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 32. The bodies of the Oort cloud drift so far apart that any two neighbours may sit millions of kilometres away from one another. It is a crowd that never gathers, a shell so spacious that each icy world is utterly alone. Imagine standing on one of them and searching the sky for the next, finding only darkness and distant stars where a neighbour should be. Picture them all adrift in that vast room, each one solitary, none ever bumping or crossing paths. As you rest, let that solitude feel soft rather than lonely. The quiet of having endless space to oneself. There is a gentle calm in being far from everything, undisturbed, unhurried, at rest in the wide dark. And so each icy world drifts alone, serene and separate, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 33. Out here at the Oort cloud, the sun's warmth is wholly gone, and you can no longer feel its heat at all. Only a deep and steady cold remains, wrapping every frozen body in the same unbroken chill. Imagine reaching back toward home and feeling nothing upon your skin, no warmth at all, only the quiet cold of the far edge. Picture the ice out here, holding not the faintest trace of the sun's heat, settled instead into a stillness that never thaws. As you rest, let that faraway sun be a gentle nightlight, distant but never quite lost, a soft reminder of where the journey began, its glow still there, though its warmth no longer reaches you. There is comfort in seeing home still shining, however small, however cold the distance between. And so the sun glimmers on, faint and kind, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 34. No craft has ever reached the Oort cloud. Even the Voyagers, our farthest travelers, would need something like 300 years just to touch its inner edge. It lies so far beyond us that our fastest machines are only at the very start of the road. Imagine those probes coasting on, generations of us living and passing, and still they would not have arrived. Picture the long, patient centuries it would take to reach a place we can barely point toward. As you rest, let that slowness feel gentle. Not a frustration, but a measure of how wide and calm this realm truly is. There is peace in a destination so distant that no one need rush toward it. And so the far shell waits, untouched and unhurried, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 35. This vast icy shell marks the outer gravitational edge of the sun's domain, the last place where our star still holds a gentle sway. Beyond it, the sun lets go, and the deep space between the stars truly begins. Imagine the Oort cloud as a soft outer wall around everything we call home, the final boundary of the sun's long reach. Picture crossing it at last, slipping past that faint shell into the open dark, where no single star rules. As you rest, let that threshold feel calm, not a fearful edge but a quiet doorway, the end of one realm and the soft beginning of another. There is peace in reaching a border and finding only more stillness beyond. And so the sun's domain fades gently outward, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 36. The space between the stars is not truly empty. A thin haze of gas and dust drifts through all of it, and we call this faint mist the interstellar medium. It is the softest of substances, so sparse it can hardly be felt, yet it fills the whole vast reach between one sun and the next. Imagine sailing outward from the Oort cloud into this gentle fog, so thin you could pass a lifetime within it and never notice. Picture the darkness itself faintly astir, alive with the slow drift of scattered atoms and fine grains. As you rest, Let this thin haze feel like a soft blanket over the void, a quiet presence rather than pure emptiness. There is comfort in knowing the dark is not wholly bare. And so the medium drifts, faint and endless, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 37. On average, the interstellar medium holds only about 1 atom in every cubic centimetre, and most of those lone atoms are simple hydrogen, where the air around you teems with countless particles in the smallest space. Out there, a single atom may drift alone in a room-sized gap. Imagine that thin scattering, atoms so far apart they rarely ever meet, each one adrift in its own small stretch of dark. Picture the sheer gentleness of it. Matter spread so softly, it barely counts as substance at all. As you rest, let that sparseness soothe you, a place so unhurried that even the atoms keep their distance and drift undisturbed. There is a deep quiet in such emptiness, calm and unpressed. And so the thin gas drifts, atom by lonely atom, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 38. That thin interstellar gas is emptier than any vacuum we have ever managed to make on Earth. Our finest machines cannot draw a space so bare. In our best laboratories, countless particles still linger where we tried to clear them all away. Yet the medium between the stars is far more empty still. Imagine a stillness so complete that Earth's deepest silence would seem crowded beside it. Picture that vast natural void, purer and quieter than anything human hands can craft. As you rest, let that perfect emptiness feel soft rather than stark. A calm so deep it soothes rather than chills. There is a strange comfort in a place with almost nothing in it, nothing to press, nothing to disturb. And so the great vacuum stretches on, flawless and gentle, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 39. Though the interstellar gas is impossibly thin, it stretches across such enormous reaches of light years that, added all together, it holds a truly vast amount of mass. A whisper of matter in each small space becomes a mighty sum when spread across the distances between the stars. Imagine gathering that faint haze from all its endless room, atom by atom, until it weighs as much as many suns. Picture how the smallest things, given space enough, quietly amount to something immense. As you rest, let that thought settle gently, how the faintest presence, patient and spread wide, can grow into something great without ever seeming to try. There is a soft wonder in that slow gathering. And so the thin gas adds up, quietly enormous, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 40. The interstellar medium is not the same everywhere. It holds cold, dense clouds and hot, thin regions lying side by side, a gentle patchwork spread across the dark. In some places, the gas gathers close and cool. In others, it drifts warm and sparse, each region easing into the next. Imagine sailing slowly through it, passing from a soft, cold mist into a wide, warm hush, and onward again, with no sharp walls between. Picture the whole medium as a quiet quilt of temperatures, stitched together across the void. As you rest, let those changes feel gradual and calm. No sudden shifts, only slow, soft blending from one stillness to another. There is peace in a place that changes so gently, and so the clouds and the warm, thin spaces drift together, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 41. Drifting through the space between stars are countless grains of fine dust, far smaller than anything the eye could catch. The quiet seeds of stars and worlds not yet born. Imagine a single speck, a tiny fleck of carbon and ice, turning slowly in the dark, going nowhere in particular. Picture millions upon millions of them spread thin across the void, each one patient, each one waiting. As you rest, know that these are the same grains that will one day gather into new suns and new planets, given enough time. There is no rush in any of it. The dust simply drifts, unhurried, across ages far longer than we can hold. And so, the makings of future worlds float softly by, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 42. Streaming gently through this space are cosmic rays, particles flung outward long ago by distant, long-vanished stars, now traveling almost as fast as light itself. Imagine them not as anything sharp or loud, but as faint, invisible threads passing silently through the emptiness. Picture one crossing light years of quiet before it ever nears a world. As you rest, let the idea stay soft. These travelers move through the dark without a sound, without a trace, going on and on, far beyond us. There is a stillness even in their speed, a kind of endless, silent journey with no destination in mind. And so they stream onward through the deep, patient and unseen, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 43. Woven through the whole of this space are weak magnetic fields, faint, invisible lines that thread the emptiness from one star to the next. Imagine them as the softest of currents, far too gentle to feel, guiding the drifting particles along their long, slow paths. Picture the entire medium laced with these quiet threads, unseen and unbroken across enormous distances. As you rest, there is nothing here to hold or resist. The fields simply are, spread thin and calm through the dark. There is a quiet order to it, a soft, invisible architecture holding the void loosely together. And so the faint fields drift on, threading the emptiness, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 44. Though it is thin almost beyond imagining, the gas between the stars still glows very faintly, singing out at one particular note that radio telescopes have learned to hear, the soft signal of hydrogen. Imagine a whisper so quiet that only the largest of listening dishes can catch it. Picture that faint hum rising from clouds spread across light years, mapping the shape of the dark. As you rest, let that gentle signal wash over you, a lullaby too faint for ears, sung by the emptiness itself. There is something soothing in a universe that hums softly to those patient enough to listen. And so the thin gas glows and sings, low and endless, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 45. As starlight crosses these long distances, the dust drinks in its blue little by little, so the light arrives a touch redder, a touch warmer than when it set out. Imagine a beam leaving a distant star, bright and cool, slowly softening as it passes through the haze of ages. Picture it reaching us at last, gentled and reddened by the journey. As you rest, think of that light as something aged and mellowed, its harsh edges worn away by the long, quiet passage. There is a kind of tenderness in it, the way distance smooths and warms whatever crosses it. And so the starlight drifts in, softened and slow, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 46. In the coldest, densest folds of these drifting clouds, new stars slowly gather themselves out of the dark. Imagine a pocket of gas, colder and heavier than the rest, drawing inward over ages until its own weight begins to warm its heart. Picture a faint new glow kindling deep inside, unhurried, taking millions of years to brighten. As you rest, know that even here in the empty spaces between stars, quiet beginnings are always underway, patient and unseen. There is comfort in that slow certainty, that from the coldest dark, warmth still gathers in its own good time. And so, new stars ripen softly in the deep, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 47. Nothing out here is truly lost. The medium is endlessly recycled, as dying stars breathe their gas back into the dark for the next generation to use. Imagine an old star gently letting go of its outer layers, spreading them wide and thin across the void. Picture that same gas, ages later, drawing together into something new and bright. As you rest, let the cycle turn slowly in your mind, end folding softly into beginning, again and again, with no hurry at all. There is a deep calm in a universe that wastes nothing and simply keeps giving itself back. And so the great slow exchange goes on, gentle and unbroken, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 48. This exchange between the stars is unhurried beyond anything we know. A slow, quiet trading of gas and dust that unfolds across millions of years. Imagine a single breath of the cosmos so long that whole civilizations could rise and fade within it. Picture the clouds drifting, thinning, gathering, over spans of time too vast to feel. As you rest, there is no need to keep pace with any of it. Let the slowness settle into you, soft and patient. There is peace in a rhythm so gentle, it makes a lifetime feel like a held breath. And so the medium turns through its long, slow seasons, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 49. Out here, distance is measured in light years. The span light itself crosses in a single year. A kilometer means nothing against this scale. Even 1 million of them is a whisper. Imagine a single beam of light, the fastest thing there is, setting out from the sun and traveling for a whole year without stopping. Picture how far it reaches, and then know that the nearest star is still several such years beyond. As you rest, there is no need to hold these numbers tightly. Let them stretch and blur, soft and enormous, far past anything the body was ever meant to feel. There is a strange comfort in a scale so large it asks nothing of you. And so the distances open outward, endless and calm, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 50. In a single year, light slips across about 9.5 trillion kilometers. A number so large, it stops meaning anything at all. Imagine trying to count it and letting the counting fall away almost at once. Picture instead just the smooth, endless flight of that light, gliding through the dark for a whole year to trace out one single step of cosmic distance. As you rest, let the figure loosen and drift. It isn't meant to be grasped, only felt as vastness. There is ease in setting such a number down and simply watching it float. And so, one light year stretches quietly outward, soft and immense, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 51. Even at the speed of light, the fastest pace the universe allows, deep space takes ages upon ages to cross. Imagine the quickest thing there is, never slowing, never resting, and still needing years to reach the very nearest star. Picture whole centuries of that flight to span the wider dark. As you rest, let the vastness be a comfort rather than a weight. There is simply no hurrying here, and nothing that needs hurrying. There is a deep quiet in a place so large that even light must be patient within it. And so the emptiness stretches on, unrushed and serene, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 52. When light years feel too small, astronomers reach for another measure, the parsec, a stride of about 3¼ light years. Imagine stepping outward, not in single years of light, but in these longer, easier paces, each one carrying you further into the deep. Picture the map of the stars laid out in such strides, the distances folding into something almost calm. As you rest, there is no need to keep the numbers straight. Let them simply mark how gently the cosmos spreads itself apart. There is a quiet elegance in measuring the void with such unhurried steps. And so, the parsecs stretch outward, slow and even, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 53. The starlight reaching your eyes tonight left its source long ago, years, even thousands of years before this moment. Imagine a glimmer setting out from a distant star while the world below was still young, traveling all that while to arrive only now. Picture that patient beam crossing the dark for a whole age just to be seen for an instant. As you rest, let each point of light feel like a soft message from long ago, arriving gently and asking nothing. There is tenderness in a sky made of old light, faithfully kept and finally delivered. And so the ancient starlight settles over you, calm and unhurried, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 54. Because that light takes so long to travel, To look outward into space is truly to look backward into the past. Imagine lifting your eyes and seeing not the stars as they are now, but as they were long ago, their old glow only reaching you tonight. Picture the whole sky as a gentle memory, each light a moment already gone. As you rest, there is nothing to hold or chase in this, only the soft wonder of a heaven made of yesterdays. There is peace in a view that asks you simply to receive what has already come to pass. And so the past drifts down as starlight, quiet and kind, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 55. The nearest star beyond our Sun lies so far off that its light needs just over 4 years to reach us. Imagine a glimmer setting out from that neighbour, crossing the whole deep dark between, taking 4 long, patient years to arrive. Picture it as our closest companion in all the cosmos, and still that far away. As you rest, let even nearness feel spacious and slow, a distance measured in years of quiet travel. There is a soft comfort in knowing our closest neighbour keeps such gentle, unhurried company. And so the nearest starlight drifts to us across the years, calm and faithful, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 56. Our swiftest machines, the fastest craft we have ever built, would still need tens of thousands of years to reach even that nearest star. Imagine a probe setting out tonight and traveling on and on while countless generations rise and pass below. Picture it drifting steadily through the dark, patient far beyond any human span. As you rest, there is no frustration in this, only a soft sense of how gently the cosmos keeps its distances. There is a strange peace in a journey so long that it belongs to time itself rather than to us. And so our little craft drift outward across the ages, unhurried, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 57. And yet, by contrast, our own sun's light reaches Earth in only about 8 minutes, a mere breath against those endless years. Imagine that short, easy crossing, sunlight slipping over in the time it takes to settle and grow drowsy. Picture how close and warm our star is, set against the vast cold spaces beyond. As you rest, let that nearness feel like home. A small, bright hearth in an ocean of quiet dark. There is comfort in knowing one gentle warmth is always just 8 soft minutes away. And so the sunlight arrives close and kind, while the deeper distances rest quietly in the dark. Fact 58. Across gaps so wide, only light and radio move swiftly enough to bridge them. Nothing solid could ever cross so fast. Imagine a faint signal setting out, gliding through the emptiness at the very speed of light, the only kind of traveller quick enough for the task. Picture it slipping star to star, while heavier things stay bound to slower ways. As you rest, let that thought stay soft. Even here, some gentle messenger can still cross the dark. There is quiet reassurance in knowing the void is never wholly closed, that light can always find its way through. And so the signals drift across the deep, faint and faithful, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 59. The distances between the stars dwarf those between the planets thousands of times over, a whole other order of vastness. Imagine the familiar reach from world to world within our system, and then picture it stretched thousands of times further just to touch the next star. Picture how the cozy neighborhood of planets gives way to oceans of open dark. As you rest, there is no need to measure any of it. Simply let the spaces widen softly in your mind. There is calm in a scale so generous that it turns whole worlds into near neighbours. And so the great gaps open ever wider, gentle and immense, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 60. The scale of it all is so vast that space stays mostly dark and empty, its scattered stars set impossibly far apart. Imagine the deep as a wide still sea of black, dotted here and there with tiny distant lights. Picture how much quiet room lies between each one. Room enough to lose every worry in. As you rest, let that emptiness feel not lonely, but restful. A vast, soft space with nothing in it to trouble you. There is a deep and simple peace in a cosmos made mostly of gentle, open dark. And so the great emptiness spreads out around us, calm and endless, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 61. The nearest star system to our own is Alpha Centauri, a little over 4 light-years away. It sounds close as space goes, and yet the distance is almost beyond imagining. Imagine setting out from the sun toward that faint point of light, crossing years of empty dark before it grows any larger. Picture 3 stars gathered there, quietly circling one another, warming worlds we may never see. As you rest, there is no need to make the journey, only to know that even our closest neighbor floats unthinkably far, patient in the black. There is a softness in that distance, a reminder that everything out here moves slowly, gently, without hurry. And so our nearest star system waits, glimmering and calm, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 62. Within that system, the single closest star to us is Proxima Centauri, a small red dwarf about 4¼ light-years away. Imagine a tiny ember of a star, far cooler and dimmer than our sun, glowing a deep and sleepy red. Picture it drifting a little apart from its 2 brighter companions, the nearest of all the stars, and still so far that light itself needs more than 4 years to arrive. As you rest, let that closeness comfort you rather than call you. The nearest door in the whole galaxy, and even it stands wide beyond reach. There is a gentle patience in a star so small and so faint, content to simply glow. And so Proxima burns low and steady, our quietest neighbor, resting softly in the dark. Fact 63. Proxima Centauri, for all its nearness, is far too faint to see with the naked eye. Imagine standing beneath a clear night sky, knowing our closest star is hidden somewhere in that patch of darkness, and still you cannot find it. Picture its light so dim that only a telescope can draw it out from the black, a tiny red spark among grander ones. As you rest, there is something soothing in that hiddenness. The nearest star of all, keeping quietly to itself, asking for no attention. There is no need to search for it tonight. It will go on glowing whether we look or not. And so Proxima stays gently out of sight, faint and unhurried, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 64. At the heart of Alpha Centauri sit two stars much like our own Sun, a pair called A and B, slowly circling each other. Imagine two warm golden lights bound together by gravity, swinging around a shared center across long, patient years. Picture them drawing a little closer, then easing apart, a slow dance that has turned for ages and will turn for ages more. As you rest, let that steady orbit settle you. No rush in it, only a long, calm rhythm. Two suns keeping each other company in the deep. There is a quiet companionship out there, stars that have never once been alone. And so the pair drifts on together, warm and unhurried, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 65. Around little Proxima circles at least one world, a planet named Proxima b, resting in the gentle band where water might stay liquid. Imagine a world we have never seen up close, bathed in the dim red glow of its small, quiet star. Picture it turning slowly through its year, far away and silent, a shape we know only from the faintest wobble of starlight. As you rest, there is no need to wonder what waits on its surface, only to know that even our nearest neighbour holds worlds of its own, drifting in the same soft dark. There is a wonder in that, gentle and far removed. And so Proxima b turns quietly on, unseen and calm, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 66. Another near neighbour is Barnard's star, a faint red dwarf about 6 light years away, famous for racing across our sky. Imagine a dim little star slipping so quickly against the background that, over a long human life, it visibly shifts its place. Picture it hurrying along its own quiet path, and yet still so distant that its haste means nothing to a single night. As you rest, let that motion stay far away and gentle, a star in no true rush, only creeping across the heavens grain by grain. There is a slow beauty in something that moves and never seems to arrive. And so Barnard's star drifts on across the years, faint and patient, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 67. Sirius, the brightest star in all our night sky, lies about 8.5 light years away. Imagine that dazzling white point, the one that outshines every other star, and know that its brilliant light set out well before this night began. Picture it blazing across those years of empty space, steady and bright, a beacon in the winter dark. As you rest, there is no need to reach toward it, only to let its faraway shine soothe you, a lighthouse we will never sail to. There is comfort in a light so bright and so distant, asking nothing of us but a quiet upward glance. And so Sirius glimmers on, radiant and calm, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 68. Our own sun drifts through a soft wisp of warm gas called the local interstellar cloud. Imagine a thin veil of scattered atoms, gentle and nearly weightless, through which our whole solar system quietly sails. Picture the sun passing through it, the way a boat glides through a patch of morning mist, barely stirring the calm. As you rest, let that image hold you. Everything we know, adrift together inside a faint, warm cloud in the vast between the stars. There is a tenderness in that, a small pocket of warmth carrying us onward. And so the sun and all its worlds drift through the gentle haze, unhurried, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 69. That little cloud sits inside a far larger hollow, the local bubble, swept clean long ago by ancient exploding stars. Imagine a great open cavern in the gas between the stars, cleared out ages past, where the medium runs especially thin. Picture our sun wandering through this quiet emptiness, the aftermath of great old bursts of light now long stilled and gone soft. As you rest, there is nothing to fear in that history, only a calm, hollow space that has settled into deep stillness. There is peace in a place scoured clean and then left to rest for ages. And so we drift through the local bubble, spacious and silent, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 70. The local bubble is enormous, hundreds of light years across, and our sun a single quiet traveller within it. Imagine an emptiness so wide that light itself would need centuries to cross it. And within it, our sun, a single quiet traveller. Picture the gentle sparseness of it, fewer atoms, softer glow, a great calm room hollowed into the galaxy. As you rest, let that spaciousness ease you. Room enough for 100 generations of starlight to wander undisturbed. There is a deep quiet in so much open space, nothing crowding, nothing pressing near. And so the great bubble holds us loosely, wide and calm, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 71. The nearby stars are not fixed. They drift ever so slowly, and over long ages the constellations themselves reshape. Imagine the familiar patterns of the night sky loosening across tens of thousands of years, stars sliding gently to new places. Picture the shapes we know today softening and changing, so slowly that no single lifetime could ever notice. As you rest, there is comfort in that patience. The sky is not still, only unhurried, redrawing itself across unimaginable time. There is a quiet reassurance in change, so gradual it feels like stillness. And so the stars drift on toward new arrangements, slow and calm, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 72. In roughly 40,000 years, the drifting Voyager 1 spacecraft will pass within a couple of light years of a small star called Gliese 445. Imagine our little probe, long silent by then, gliding quietly near another sun in the far distant future. Picture it coasting through the dark, no longer speaking, simply drifting onward past a star we barely know. As you rest, there is a gentle wonder in that thought. Something we built, still travelling, long after we are gone, brushing softly past a stranger's light. There is peace in a journey with no end and no hurry. And so, Voyager drifts toward that far encounter, patient and calm, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 73. Now and then, objects from other stars drift silently through our own solar system. Imagine a wanderer born around some distant sun, cast loose long ago, coasting for ages across the empty dark until it slips quietly past our sun. Picture it arriving without announcement, crossing our small corner of space, then continuing on its endless way. As you rest, there is no alarm in such a visitor, only the gentle marvel that the galaxy shares its travelers, and some pass briefly through our home. There is a quiet kinship in that, distant suns sending their pieces drifting our way. And so these visitors come and go, silent and unhurried, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 74. Back in 2017, astronomers spotted the first known visitor from beyond our system, a small object they named Oumuamua. Imagine a lonely traveler, come from another star, caught for a fleeting moment in our telescopes before it hurried on. Picture the wonder of that first sighting, proof at last that things really do drift between the stars and reach us. As you rest, let that discovery sit gently in your thoughts. A stranger passing through, glimpsed once and then gone into the dark. There is a soft magic in a single visit, brief and never to return. And so Oumuamua sped quietly onward, far beyond us now, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 75. That visitor, Oumuamua, was strangely long and thin, slowly tumbling end over end, and it left as swiftly as it came. Imagine an odd, elongated shape turning gently in the void, lit faintly by a sun it would never return to. Picture it sweeping through, gathering speed, then slipping back out toward the stars before we could learn much at all. As you rest, there is no need to chase after its mysteries, only to let it drift on, a quiet riddle carried into the deep. There is a calm in a puzzle we can simply let go, and so Oumuamua tumbles away forever, silent and unhurried, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 76. 2 years later, in 2019, a comet named Borisov passed through, and this one was plainly born around another star. Imagine a faint icy wanderer, trailing a soft tail, sweeping in from interstellar space with the clear marks of a distant birthplace. Picture it curving past our sun, glowing gently for a while, then gliding back out toward the darkness it came from. As you rest, there is a quiet beauty in that visit, a comet that formed at some far sun, sharing its light with us for just a little while. There is peace in a traveler that comes, glows softly, and moves on. And so Borisov drifts back into the deep, faint and calm, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 77. Some worlds belong to no star at all, rogue planets, wandering the galaxy alone through the endless night. Imagine a planet with no sunrise, no year, no orbit, simply drifting free through the dark between the stars. Picture it gliding on, unbound and untethered. A whole world traveling in perfect solitude. As you rest, there is no loneliness to fear in this. Only a deep, untroubled quiet. A world at peace with the dark around it. There is a strange serenity in something that answers to nothing, held by nothing, and drifts on regardless. And so the rogue worlds wander freely, silent and calm, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 78. These starless worlds float in permanent darkness, warmed only faintly by the slow heat left within them. Imagine a planet lit by no sun, its only warmth a soft glow rising gently from its own deep interior. Picture it drifting through the cold, quietly holding on to that faint inner heat, like an ember beneath ash. As you rest, let that gentle warmth in the dark soothe you. No dawn ever comes, and yet the world is not entirely cold. There is a quiet comfort in a warmth that needs no sun, keeping its own slow glow. And so the dark worlds drift onward, faintly warm and calm, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 79. There may be billions of these rogue planets adrift throughout the Milky Way, perhaps more starless worlds than stars themselves. Imagine countless dark travelers, uncounted and unseen, gliding silently through every quiet corner of the galaxy. Picture their vast numbers, a hidden multitude drifting between the shining stars, each one wrapped in its own gentle night. As you rest, there is no need to feel small among them, only to know the galaxy is softly full, its darkness quietly populated. There is a comfort in that fullness, a cosmos never truly empty. And so the countless rogue worlds drift on together, silent and calm, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 80. Every interstellar visitor carries within it material forged around some distant, far-off sun. Imagine a traveler shaped long ago near another star, bearing the very stuff of that faraway place as it drifts quietly into ours. Picture it as a gentle messenger holding fragments of a distant birthplace, sharing them briefly with our small patch of space. As you rest, there is a soft wonder in that thought. The stars quietly trade their pieces, and now and then one drifts through our home. There is a kinship woven through the whole galaxy, worlds and suns quietly connected across the dark. And so these travelers carry their distant gifts onward, patient and calm, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 81. Most interstellar visitors pass through in complete silence, arriving and leaving without ever being noticed at all. Imagine a lone traveler slipping quietly across the outer dark, crossing our whole system in a matter of months, and then gone. Picture how many must come and go while no eye is turned their way, drifting on unseen. As you rest, there is something soothing in the thought of a passage so gentle it leaves no trace, no sound, no wake behind it. There is a quiet grace to a thing that moves through everything and disturbs nothing, that touches the edges of home and simply keeps going. Most are never counted, never named, never known, and still they wander on, patient and untroubled. And so they pass, soft as a breath across the dark, moving on through the stillness while we drift here at rest. Fact 82. At any moment, countless such travelers are somewhere between the stars, their unseen paths overlapping across the dark. Imagine a hidden traffic of stone and ice, threading the whole galaxy, each wanderer on its own long road, all of them crossing and weaving through the same vast night. Picture how many trails must braid together out there, none of them ever colliding, a slow tangle of journeys spread across the emptiness. As you rest, let the thought settle softly, that even the loneliest places are gently traveled, never quite as empty as they seem. There is a calm companionship in it, worlds and fragments, all drifting the same slow way, sharing the same endless night. So many roads, and room enough for everyone. And so the travelers cross and part again, unhurried and serene, wandering on beneath the stars while we settle deeper into rest. Fact 83. Deep space is profoundly cold. A cold so deep and so even that it feels the same wherever you drift, like a slow quieting, not a bite. Far from any star, there is almost nothing to give warmth, and the dark drinks away what little heat remains. Imagine the gentle chill of it, not sharp or cruel, but still and even, the same everywhere you drift. Picture the cold as a kind of quiet, a settling of everything into rest. As you rest, there is no wind out here to bite, no storm, only a smooth and endless calm holding steady across the void. There is peace in a place where nothing rushes and nothing burns. And so the cold keeps its slow vigil, soft and unbroken, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 84. The deep cold of space sits at only a few degrees above absolute zero, around -270 degrees. Imagine a chill so deep and so even that it fills the whole sky the same, in every direction you might turn. Picture it not as something to endure, but as a great stillness, the settled temperature of a universe at rest. As you rest, there is comfort in knowing the cold is steady and gentle, never lashing, never changing, holding the dark in one long, calm breath. There is a quiet order to it, a place where nothing flares and nothing storms, only the soft and patient cool of open space. And so, the deep keeps its steady chill, mild and unhurried, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 85. Even in the coldest reaches, the dark still carries the faintest afterglow, the last soft trace of the very first light, from when the whole universe was young and newly bright. Imagine it as an ancient warmth, long since gone gentle, so faint it barely stirs the cold, yet spread evenly through every corner of space. Picture it not as fire, but as a memory of that first light, quiet and everywhere at once, the oldest glow there is. As you rest, there is comfort in the thought that even the emptiest night still holds this tender remembrance of light, that nowhere is ever truly without it. There is a kindness in a glow that asks nothing and simply stays, drifting through everything since the very beginning. And so the ancient afterglow lingers on, mild and unbroken, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 86. Absolute zero, the very coldest temperature there could ever be, is never quite reached anywhere in all of space. Imagine the cold drawing nearer and nearer to that final floor, yet always leaving the tiniest trace of motion, the faintest stir of warmth behind. Picture the universe holding back from perfect stillness, keeping the softest ember of energy alive in every corner. As you rest, there is something gentle in knowing the cold never fully arrives, that a little warmth always remains, however small. There is peace in that quiet limit, a boundary approached but never crossed, patient and unbroken. And so, the deep hovers just above the end of cold, tender and still, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 87. Sound needs something to travel through, and with almost no matter out here, deep space is entirely silent. Imagine a hush so complete that no voice, no rush, no faintest ripple could ever carry, only pure and perfect quiet. Picture the stillness stretching endlessly. A silence deeper than any you have ever known, soft and untouched by noise. As you rest, let that quiet settle over you, gentle as a blanket, asking nothing and holding everything at peace. There is a rare and tender calm in a place where nothing can be heard, where silence is simply the way of things. And so the void keeps its perfect hush, smooth and unbroken, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 88. Out here, a call goes out and never comes back, with nothing to turn it homeward again. Imagine a voice sent into the dark, drifting on and on, finding no wall, no shore, nothing at all to send it echoing back to you. Picture how nothing here can send it back, no surface anywhere to catch it, so the call simply travels on. As you rest, there is comfort in the thought of a word released and let go, asking for no reply, carried gently outward and never returned. There is peace in a place where nothing bounces back, where each call simply travels on into the deep. And so the lone call drifts ever onward, soft and unreturning, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 89. Far from any star, the darkness of deep space runs deeper than the darkest night ever known on Earth. Imagine a black so full and so soft that it seems almost gentle, wrapping everything in its quiet folds. Picture it not as absence but as presence, a calm and velvet dark that asks nothing of you and simply holds you close. As you rest, there is comfort in a night so complete it leaves no edges, no glare, no reason to stay awake, only the soothing weight of shadow. There is a tender peace in the deepest dark, where nothing shines and nothing needs to. And so the darkness gathers softly around, warm in its own quiet way, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 90. With no air to carry it, only radiation moves warmth across the great empty spaces between the stars. Imagine the faint touch of a distant star's light drifting slowly through the void, the only heat that ever reaches these lonely reaches. Picture that gentle glow crossing unimaginable distance to arrive as the softest whisper of warmth. As you rest, there is something calming in a warmth so patient it travels for ages just to brush the dark, unhurried and quiet. There is peace in knowing that even here, a little light still finds its way, gentle and slow. And so the faint warmth drifts on through the emptiness, tender and unbroken, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 91. For all its cold and silence, the emptiness of deep space feels less like danger and far more like rest. Imagine the vast quiet not as a place to fear, but as a place to let go, wide and open and utterly at peace. Picture yourself drifting through it, weightless and calm, nothing to hold and nothing to hold you but the soft embrace of the dark. As you rest, there is comfort in a stillness so complete it asks only that you breathe and settle and let the tension slip away. There is a gentle welcome in the void, a quiet that soothes rather than frightens. And so the emptiness cradles all who drift within it, tender and endless, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 92. Humans have long dreamed of one day crossing the Great Gulf to reach another star. Imagine the quiet hope of it, a soft and patient longing carried through generations, gazing up at distant lights and wondering. Picture that dream drifting gently outward, never loud, never rushed, just a tender wish to touch the far shore of the night. As you rest, there is something soothing in a hope so calm and so old. Asking nothing of tonight, content simply to imagine. There is peace in a dream that reaches for the stars and yet lets you rest along the way. And so the dream drifts onward with us, gentle and unhurried, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 93. A solar sail rides the gentle push of sunlight itself, needing no fuel to carry it across the dark. Imagine a thin and shining sail unfurling, catching the soft pressure of starlight, the way a boat catches a breeze. Picture it drifting forward on that whisper of light, silent and slow, gathering speed across the endless quiet. As you rest, there is something soothing in a journey powered only by light, gentle and effortless, gliding on without a sound. There is peace in a craft that simply lets the sun carry it, patient and calm, in no hurry at all. And so, the bright sail drifts softly outward, borne on light alone, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 94. Some dreamers imagine tiny probes, no larger than a grain, pushed toward the stars by beams of gentle laser light. Imagine a whole fleet of these feather-light travelers, each carried forward on a patient stream of light, drifting outward into the deep. Picture them so small and so soft that space barely notices their passing, slipping quietly toward distant suns. As you rest, there is something calming in a voyage so delicate, gliding through the dark on nothing more than light. There is peace in the thought of these tiny wanderers, unhurried and serene, reaching gently toward the far stars. And so, the small ones drift onward through the quiet, light as a breath, resting softly in the dark. Fact 95. Even riding on light, such tiny craft would need around 2 decades to reach the nearest star. Imagine the slow patience of that crossing, years upon years of quiet drifting through the deep, in no hurry to arrive. Picture the long calm of the journey, the traveler moving steadily onward while whole seasons pass unseen behind it. As you rest, there is something soothing in a voyage measured in gentle years, unrushed and serene, content to simply carry on. There is peace in a path so long that haste has no meaning, only the slow and steady drift toward a distant light. And so the little traveller journeys on through the dark, patient and calm, resting quietly along the way. Fact 96. A generation ship would carry travellers so slowly that only their grandchildren might arrive at the distant star. Imagine a small, quiet world adrift among the stars, home to lives that begin and end along the way, all bound gently onward. Picture children born beneath its lamps who never knew the earth, drifting toward a shore their elders only dreamed of. As you rest, there is something tender in a journey passed softly from hand to hand, unhurried across the generations. There is peace in a voyage so patient that the travelling itself becomes a home. And so the slow ship drifts onward through the years, gentle and steady, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 97. For now, our reach ends with a handful of robotic probes, drifting slowly and quietly outward. Imagine those few small craft far from home, gliding through the deep, faithful and patient in the endless dark. Picture them carrying our curiosity onward, asking nothing, needing nothing, simply drifting where we cannot yet follow. As you rest, there is something soothing in their steady, silent travel, unhurried and calm, keeping their long vigil among the stars. There is peace in the thought of these gentle messengers moving softly outward while we rest safely behind. And so the little probes drift on through the quiet, tireless and serene, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 98. Against the vast scale of it all, we are wonderfully small, and that smallness is strangely calming. Imagine setting down every worry, letting it shrink to nothing beneath a sky so wide it holds everything gently. Picture how soft the world becomes when seen from far enough away, quiet and whole and at peace. As you rest, there is comfort in being small, in knowing the great dark cradles us without asking anything at all. There is a gentle relief in it, a letting go, a settling into the vast and tender quiet. And so we drift, small and safe beneath the stars, easy and unafraid, resting quietly in the dark. Fact 99. Out here, there is nothing to do but drift, and let the soft dark hold you. Imagine your breathing slowing, your thoughts growing faint, the quiet gathering close and warm around you. Picture yourself weightless and calm, carried gently onward with nowhere to be and nothing to hold. There is only stillness now, only the tender dark and the slow, easy drift. And so you rest, safe and unhurried, drifting quietly in the dark. Fact 100. The journey outward goes on without us now, gentle, patient, endless. Imagine it drifting softly on, past the faint stars, into the deep and quiet dark, needing nothing from you but rest. There is nowhere left to go but onward, and nothing left to do but let go. Rest now. And so the drifting carries on, soft and endless, as you settle gently into sleep. And so we drift on, further into the quiet, where the stars grow faint and the dark grows soft. There is only the soft dark now, and the slow drift onward. The journey drifts on, further than we can follow, and asks nothing of you now. Sleep well. The cosmos will keep drifting, and so will you.